Hi, Lucas. Hi, everybody. My name is Johnny Stambuk, and I'm Assistant to General Manager for Commercial Affairs, Port Operations and Marketing in Port of Zadar Authority, let's say last 18 years, more or less. So I would like to greet you in my name and also in the name of Zadar Port Authority. So I will try to give you for the beginning, I will try to give you a general overview of Zadar Port, and we will try to give a clear view about our activities in the last period in light of Blue Growth topics and regarding our cruise ship activities in the last few years. So next slide, please. So Zadar is situated just in the middle of Adriatic Sea, so 140 nautical miles from Venice and 160 nautical miles from Dubrovnik. Actually, we are just in the middle between the two marquee ports, what is very important in cruise business, and that means that they have a lot of time for night navigation between two ports, and that means also that they will save a lot of fuel from destination to destination, what is also very interesting. For the future development of cruise traffic. So I will not look the last 2 years regarding coronavirus. Cruise industry is in very bad situation, but we'll try to look forward and try to project what will be in 2023 and after that. So next slide, please. So Port of Zadar is a system of Croatian open public force for special interests of Republic of Croatia, and Zadar is fourth cargo port in Croatia and second passenger port with very huge traffic, but you will see on the next slides. So what is also interesting, that Zadar is the shortest connection between between Croatia and Italy, just 80 nautical miles. Miles is distance between Ancona and Zadar. So we are in pretty much very interesting, very nice situated in Adriatic Sea, not just for tourism, also for other port activities as ferries, as cargo activities, and so on. So next slide, please. So we are very good connected with the highway system, Croatian highway system. For example, you have just 2.5 hours from Zadar to Zagreb and forward to rest of Croatia and Europe. And it's very easy to come to Zadar, and this is also one of the advantages of our location. Rail transport is not in so good, let's say, is not very good, in very good condition in this moment, but Croatian Railways are planning significant investments for improving railways in future. In this moment, it is possible to organize some activities with rail, but it is not really some advantage of our port. Next slide, please. So Zadar Airport is situated just 5 kilometers from the port, and this is also one of the advantages. And they increased the number of traffic from 65,000 in 2006 to 800,000 in 2019. So they're increasing a lot, and without Corona, in 2021 they had projections for that they will get more than 1 million passengers. So it is reasonable to think that passenger movement in the Zadar region will go forward and forward in the future. Next slide, please. So this is also a reason why we think also why Zadar is a very interesting city. It's more than 3,000 years old city with 5 national parks and 3 nature parks just around Zadar, and this is great opportunity for organizing excursions, for tourist activities and other tourism activities. This is very old city with many monuments, and you really need lot of time to explore and to enjoy in our destination. Next slide, please. So maybe just to tell you some few facts about Zadar Port Authority. So Zadar Port Authority has been founded by decision of government of Republic of Croatia for managing, building, and using port open for public transport that is of special interest for Republic of Croatia. Zadar Port Authority is a non-profit legal entity whose founding organization and activity is defined by law on maritime estate and seaports. Activities of Port Authority are taking care of building, maintaining, managing protection and improvement of maritime estate that represents port area, building and maintaining ports infrastructure financed from budget of founders of Port Authority, express supervision on building, maintaining, managing and protection of port area, ensuring permanent and unobstructed port traffic, technical and technological harmony and maritime safety, ensuring issuing services of public interest or services for which there is no economic interest of other commercial subjects, coordinating and supervising work of concessionaires running commercial activity in port area, making decisions on founding and managing of free zone on port area in accordance with regulations for free zones, and also other activities defined by law. Next slide, please. So we are managing with three port basins. So first basin is, you can see on the photo on the right side. So this is passenger city port Zadar. This is we call that old city port. On the left side, you can see a photo of our new port of Gaženica. This is system of three basins. The first basin you can see on the picture. It's a new passenger cruise ferry and rural terminals in Gaženica. But we also made a new fishing port, and we on the same area is situated a commercial cargo port. And we are also operating with fishing port Vela Kali, but this is just let's say separated basin from our main activities. Next slide, please. So these are some port statistics. You will see very interesting increase of passenger and vehicle movement from 2014 and 15. You will see on some pages after this. We have a lot of domestic traffic, passenger movement in the domestic traffic, and vehicles are very huge because we are surrounded with a lot of islands, and we have many ferries between Zadar and our islands, 5 ferries and 9 fast tracks from Zadar, more or less 14, 15 depending of the year. We also started to develop cruise business, let's say 10 years ago, and you can see from 2015 and 2016 that we increased almost 100%. So this is reason because we made a new port on the different. We relocated our old port to the new location, 3 kilometers, situated 3 kilometers from the city center. And that was the reason why we increased a lot of traffic, passenger and vehicle traffic between islands, and also for other port activities. A cargo port is also increasing, let's say, business activities, and especially in the liquid for liquids, for fuels. They also increased in the last 5 years. They increased almost 3 times total movement of the cargo. Next slide, please. So that was Port of Zadar in 2005. In 2005, we had just one port basin and almost 2 million passengers just in this 900 meters of this port, in this port basin. So it was very danger to operate here. We had a lot of cruise ships. We had 5 ferries. We had 9 fast lines just in the same area. It was really not sustainable to organize any kind of safety or security activities. And regarding entrance to the port was just 70 meters. You can see on the right side, and it was really a huge problem to organize any kind of sustainable activities on this area. Also, so this is old city with UNESCO protected city. Our city walls are medieval walls, 3 times bigger than, for example, in Dubrovnik. But nobody knows about that. But this is a fact. So actually, we saw that kind of traffic is also very dangerous for our cultural monuments. Traffic congestions were huge, and at that time we had 300,000 vehicles going to ferries, to islands, and coming back from islands, and it was really not good to. It was very stressful to be assistant to general manager in that time. So next slide, please. So for the beginning of our activities, we started to develop a small pier, cruise pier, just here where you see this cruise ship. That was, let's say, some transitional project from old city port to new city port, because that was projection that we will need at least 10 years to organize all these activities and to make all these projects on the different location. So we decided to make a small cruise pier, but even on that day, that was in 2005-2006, we decided to put 2 installations to make more attractive for the cruise ships, and not just for cruise ships, to show everybody that we would like to go on the green port, that we like to think like a green port, like that we support some blue road for the future development of Zadar port. So one installation was a sea organs, the second one was a monument to the sun. Monument to the sun was is still is a system of photovoltaic panels situated just 20 meters from the cruise pier, and the meaning is that we are collecting the sun energy for lighting, for very interesting lighting on that area, and also so we are using energy of the waves to produce very nice sounds, and also to produce energy for that lighting. So this is that was beginning of our, let's say, blue and green thinking in Zadar port. Next slide, please. In cooperations with the Ministry of the Sea Transport and Infrastructure, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Environmental Protection and Zoning, Port Authority decided, actually Port Council of Port Authority decided to relocate all our ferry and cruise traffic from Old City Port to the different locations, 3 kilometers from the on the left side you can see our old city port, and on the right side is situated our new port we made just 2 years ago. Next slide, please. So on the photo up, you can see beginning of the project. Actually, that was illegal garbage disposal area in 2009. So when we started in 2012, we made the first phase. In 2015, we made infrastructure to receive ships and put port in and port in operational mode. And this is a photo of our first cruise cruise call and first test of the new port in 2015. So that was a really, really huge and very expensive project. Actually, it's almost a small city, just a few kilometers from our old city. And it was really challenging, but it was only solution that we had in that moment. So actually, we made from one very, very poor and very, very not attractive area. We made something new, something what will save our whole city from all kind of pollutions, of ship pollutions, vehicle pollutions, of traffic congestions. We will make a better air quality in the whole city. We will also make less noise in our whole city, and so that was if we want to make all these things, so that was only reasonable solution. Next slide, please.
Can we go to finish, Doni?
Yes, I will be very fast. This is a port in 2018. So we made 12 new berths with 7 for domestic and 5 for international traffic. So now we can accept all kinds of cruise ships and ferries in the new location. Next slide, please. So also we made the terminal building, one part for domestic traffic, one part for international home port activities and cruise, in the more or less cruise activities, and one part for all public offices, as Cargo Master Office, port authorities, police, custom. We put all together in the same building, what is also very good for our users, for port users. Next slide, please. So this is in 2019 port. This is a domestic part on the right side. If you want to do things with cruise ships, you need to have a lot of space, especially for buses. We organized also parking places, a lot of parking places for buses, for taxi drivers, for example. Just one medium cruise ships needs 25 buses and at least 40 taxi drivers on the same locations, and that could make huge pollutions and can make huge problems with the traffic congestions. But but with the new port, we solve all these problems. Next slide, please. So you can see the share of city port and Gaženica in the last period. So almost all passenger traffic we relocated on the new location, and all vehicle and ferry traffic. All 100% of all these activities are going to Gaženica now. Next slide, please. So as I told you, you need a lot of space because peak time in our port is we have over 700 vehicles or neither the one. So everything is organized regarding our schedules. So when you have a lot of lines, you have a lot of traffic. When you don't have ships in the port, you don't have needs for huge space, but you need to think about that when you are planning that kind of infrastructural project. Next slide, please. So this is also our future, the new multi-purpose terminal. This is the end of this whole project, and we are trying to organize, let's say, hub for distribution center for vehicles or for other activities. Depending, in this moment, we are developing a concession future concessionaires for using this port area. Next slide, please.
Can we come to the conclusion?
Yes. Actually, in the future, Port Gaženica will be crossroad of all maritime activities. So we are very close to development zone Cernov, to Zadar Airport and highways, and we are on the location, and we will make absolutely change the image of the city in the future, not just in the future. Our future is now. And the next slide, please. And I think it's almost last. I have just 2 slides. So these are our nowadays jobs. So priority needs and actions in the port of Zadar for the next period. So our priority areas are monitoring environmental impact, internal regulatory framework and action plans, carbon footprint reduction measures, and education and training regarding environmental issues. Our existing environmental practices are that we have LED lighting in the terminal building, usage of natural gas for heating, multi-fuel station study. We have developed station study for hybrid taxi boat. Now we are making calculations for photovoltaic installations in the port, project greenhouse for waste disposal. And we relocated cruise traffic from the city to the new port of Gaženica, which is also a huge step. So solution and measures are environmental monitoring stations, environmental policy plan that we want to make in some near period, LED outdoor lighting, employee environmental and maneuvering training, electric vehicles, electric charging station, usage of alternative fuels, and photovoltaic installation in parking and roofs area. And last slide, please. So now with Interreg Italia-Croatia program, so we are partnering in the Susport project, and we are developing a pilot activity. What we think it will be done in next 1 year. So we are planning to put canopies with integrated photovoltaic panels in the last 1 year. That will be for our needs for port lighting in front of the terminal building, and also we will use this electricity for our future electric car. We will buy this electric car also with this support project. And more or less this is the same. This is everything what yes, this is everything what I want to say at this moment, and thank you for your